like you lost another one.
And of course, I ain't shit because I had my damn mute button on. Can you hear me now? There you go. All right. Okay, so I ain't shit for that one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the season finale of the Wrestling Revival podcast. I am your host, Cyb3rYeti, and over here, immediately to the other side of me, is DJ Notorious. Guys, welcome in. Thank you so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Let's go ahead and pay a couple bills really quick and just hit up a couple things really quick. First off, a huge shout out to our sponsor, Ulti, ultisubs.com. Use discount code Revival Army for 10% off your order. As you can see, you can get one of these lovely ice shakers. You can also get yourself one of the new 64-ounce ice shakers as well. And oh my God, for a big boy like me, that would be perfect. So definitely use our code Revival Army when you go to checkout and save yourself a little bit of money, because I know if you're like anybody else in the country right now, you're probably hurting for money just about as bad as the next person. Unfortunately, we had to discontinue our merchandise right now. We are actually in the process of switching over to a new merchandise distributor after we found out the merchandise didn't come out as great as we thought it would be. So we are going to go ahead and hold up on that for a little bit. So right now, all we have is Ulti. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is we are actually going to go ahead and jump over to the AEW Dynamite recap for this evening, because we got a lot of stuff to go over. So let's go ahead and jump into AEW. DJ, I know you were able to sit down and watch that this evening. So why don't you go ahead and take the lead on what happened on Dynamite tonight?
Well, welcome everybody. Season finale is here. We do have a lot of stuff to talk about, but let's get into Dynamite. Dynamite just went off the air probably about 19 minutes ago, and we had more of the Continental Classic, but that's not what y'all want to hear first. You want to hear if the Devil's Masked Men appeared. Yes, but were they unmasked? No. Some funny work happened with that, and we did not have the unmasking of the Devil's basically henchmen. When it came up to the match with Samoa Joe and MJF to go up against those masked men, Samoa Joe hit the ring first with the classic Joe chants. Then the lights went out. Then the white lights started flickering. The masked man cornered him inside the ring, and then magically the lights went off again, disappeared. You then had the alleged lead devil on the big screen, and then it showed MJF knocked out with a bottle. So once again, we have another twist and turn when it comes to this storyline. Of course, the tag match didn't happen. I kind of had a feeling it wouldn't, but that's exactly what happened there. So we have to wait until next week when MJF speaks on the issue regarding the Masked Men. Mind you, AEW next week is Winter is Coming. Now, as far as the Continental Classic, you had 3 matches that went on there, and 3 just, you knew these were going to happen. Jon Moxley did take on Rush and choked his ass out. Honestly, that was the match right there. Moxley gets 3 more points. Then you had Swerve Strickland. That's right, Swerve Strickland going up against you know who. Swerve got the victory again. So they both Jon Moxley and Swerve are now at 9 points, basically guaranteeing them moving on to the next round. And in the third and final match, you had Switchblade going up against Jay Lethal. And with a Switchblade, it's always sharp. And that's exactly what Jay White was tonight, getting the victory. So pretty much you can book it right now. Mark Briscoe and Jay Lethal are pretty much mathematically eliminated from the Continental Classic already. Are we surprised by that? Are we really surprised by that?
No, to be honest, I'm not. But the one thing that does surprise me is how well Moxley is actually doing in the tournament.
Speaking of Moxley, I like how you did that segue there. Speaking of Moxley, did have a little post-fight interview in the back, or just him and the camera. And who shows up to interrupt? Swerve's house himself, Sir Strickland, because it looks like next second round in Texas, good old Texas. You know about Texas, Cyber. Those two will be meeting up sooner rather than later. And I'm sorry, I'm rolling with Swerve on this one. The push is on. Get on the Swerve train now while there's still room.
2024 AEW champ.
Exactly. He will be holding some belt in AEW. International, TNT, or even the World Heavyweight. You can book it. Now, Cyber, what's my favorite part of Wednesday nights?
Your favorite part of Wednesday nights?
Yes.
Of course, it has to be the timeless Toni Storm. Oh my God, I am so in love with this character. It is not even funny, dude.
If you did not see Dynamite tonight, you could definitely check them out. But what made it so more to a storyline, and sometimes it's just the little things, like all the small things, Blink 182. It's just the small things that can be done here. They brought in a narrator for the entrance of Toni Storm, and it wasn't just anybody.
Yes.
They brought in TCM's own, that's right, Turner Classic Movies, and they gave the intro like you was getting ready to watch an old movie from the 40s or the 50s to Miss
I'm loving it, dude.
Storm. That was like
I am loving it.
Chef's kiss of the night right there. I told you guys, Timeless Toni Storm has become one of the best segments on AEW programming, period. She really did her thing. And of course, she defended her title against Sky Blue. Very good match. Even Toni Storm keeping up with the whole antics while in the match. Of course, she did get the victory, but someone interrupted her after her victory. And it was somebody I was not expecting to show up there. I thought it was going to be Britt Baker. I thought it was going to be one of the remaining Outcasts. No, it was the first ever AEW Women's Champion. It was Ryu that showed up after the match, basically letting it be known she's the next challenger up for it and want to get her hands on her, but Toni Storm sneaked out again into the arms of Luther, and we probably much have our next week's match, or even at World's End, Ryu versus Toni Storm. That's right, y'all. World's End is just a couple of weeks away already. Can you believe it? End of the month is coming up already.
Yep.
Very, very shocking. But besides that, that was pretty much all of Dynamite except the main event. The main event was Adam Copeland and Christian. Now, we all knew what was going to happen here. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out there was going to be some type of outside interference. But it wasn't from who you would expect. No, it was from Nick Wayne's mom. That's right. Nick Wayne's mom.
His mama?
Okay? Yes. I would say another name, but no, we're trying to be monetized. She came in, grabbed the TNT title. She was making a decision. Should I stay? Should I go? Should I go? Should I do this? But she chose to pop Adam Copeland with the TNT championship. Thus, after a kill switch and a stomp on the back of the neck, Christian retains the TNT championship. There's got to be some type of big payoff here at World's End.
It has to.
Got to be something going on here, but Christian
all I gotta say is Adam Copeland was probably saying this when Nick Wayne's mom got involved.
What's up?
Get your man.
All right.
Like, no joke, man. What is up with that? Getting your mama involved in a title match that's not even yours?
You know what? The only thing I can just say about
this is worse than Brutus Clay back in WWE and his mama popping up on WrestleMania.
Wow.
Man.
That was one thing. Glad this was not in New York because I know one person that plays for the Jets would have loved seeing Nick's mom out there. Just saying. If you know, you know. Okay.
All right. So looking at the comments here really quick. Oh man, we got Speak On It podcast in here. The only person I could think of that would be doing that is my former arch nemesis. Well, still technically my arch nemesis.
Of course.
Mr. Big Mike. Toni Storm is killing the women's division right now. Dude, you know what? I do not disagree with you. I 100% agree with you. Toni Storm is getting such good publicity just from this organically grown character that she has created in Timeless Toni Storm, to the point to where she's getting like the AMC touch of being able to, do these kinds of characters, do this kind of character and have the support of AEW. All this is doing is just making her a bigger draw. This is like, legitimately, there's another woman that is being built up to be at the same level or higher than Britt Baker right now. Because Britt Baker at the start of the company, she was it. She was the number one person in the company. Well, now Toni Storm, I mean, with this character and how it's grown, it has completely turned it around. Like Britt Baker, yes, you put her in a match with anybody, she's going to do great. But Toni Storm, she's starting to get to that level too with this character, and I'm loving it. I love seeing it.
No, it's definitely been good. I definitely once again agree here. Usually a Yankee and Astro don't agree, but we do here. Toni Storm is killing the women's division right now, and I'll even go as far as say this: it's even rivaling the other company. And you know which company I'm talking about.
I know which company you're referring to, but I mean,
look at the three. Okay, you know what? I'll bring it to a whole bigger landscape. Let's look at the top three here. We're talking TNA Impact, of course, not the other name anymore.
Yeah.
We have AEW and WWE. We have Trinity over there as champ. We have now, of course, Toni Storm. And then we have Rhea Ripley. The only reason why I'm going to say it could actually rival it right now, because I may be in the minority. If it is, let me know now. Rhea's starting to get a little stale. That's just me. It's getting a little stale. Tony Good, as Nightmare is saying here, welcome to the show. Toni Storm is so good right now for personal reasons. Sky Blue had the promo of the year last week on Collision. Yes, even Jerry the King Lawler would have loved the video going along with that.
Oh man, he would have been Jerry Lawler of the late 90s, early 2000s, jumping up and down, getting all excited and everything.
Exactly. We
give
all
himself
know
another heart attack.
Oh, wow, Jesus. Okay. But yeah, definitely. I see it that way. Like, it's more open than people would think. Yes,
Yeah.
Rhea has her big reign, but you got something new here with Toni Storm, and it's really catching bigger steam as it goes week by week by week. Shout out to whoever thought of bringing in TCM into that, because that brought even more value to the storyline there. If you're going to talk about a timeless, you got to talk about Turner Classic Movie. So that definitely worked itself out.
Yes. Now, I was reading Nightmare's comment here. Problem with Rhea is she's better as a leader for Judgment Day, so the title feels secondary. Damage control stuff is good too. I will agree. I'm kind of in the same boat that you are as well, in regards to, I feel like it's more of a leadership role that she's taking with Judgment Day, and it's almost like the championship is taking a back seat to it. So the question then comes up, don't do the King like that. Hey, I can go in worse on the King if I want to. I don't care what kind of barbecue you're selling there here in the South. I will still make you have a heart attack without even eating it.
Leave Jerry alone.
So let's leave Jerry alone. Yes.
Just leave him alone for tonight. Just for tonight.
Yeah, just for tonight. But overall, I agree. The only question is who would take the title off of her at this point? It has to be someone different. Now, I am DJ brought this up in a conversation we had earlier, the end of last week, early beginning of this week, about who could potentially do that. Dude, I'm not 100% on board with with who you said. I'm like, I don't I just can't see it. Not right now, not this soon.
Some people are thinking like that, just like how you're thinking, Cyber. I'm not going to release the person's name. We'll save that for season 2, perhaps. And then we'll really have it there because then we'll be closer to the road to WrestleMania. So I will definitely do that. Nightmare once again says they're in a holding pattern. Hopefully things heat up after the Rumble. I think Becky wins it at Mania. That's not the name I was thinking about winning.
I mean, that could definitely be possible too. Or else they could go an angle with Damage Control where Bayley actually comes and takes it, because now the belts aren't exclusive to one brand or the other. They made the belts to where they're not. So, I mean, that could possibly happen too. I mean, a number of things. I mean, someone randomly from NXT could find themselves in the mix if they get the right push.
That is true. And Bobby's here. Welcome to the show, Bobby. He also says, how about Mariah May? Now, so far, so good, I gotta say, with Mariah May.
Yep.
I think they're kind of setting up as like the final boss, perhaps, where she's going to probably mess up Toni Storm in some way, and then they're going to have their feud, which is a good thing to do, maybe by Revolution, because once again, after World's End, you will have Revolution. Gives it enough time to breathe of a storyline.
Yep.
That could be a good thing. But so far, so good in my eyes, Bobby.
Oh, no. I think that would be an interesting way to do it.
Okay. Let's just say the names DJ's thinking about is synonymous with a F1 and German engineering. Sorry. No. That's not the person I was thinking.
No. Nice try, Nightmare.
Nice try, Nightmare, but I'll tell you this, you're ice cold with that one. Ice cold. But maybe I might drop some hints while we're here in the show.
Yeah, but maybe.
That was pretty much it. Of course, then we have Bryan Danielson going up with 3 matches in the next 7 days in the Continental Classic. Of course, with Collision, Rampage, and then Dynamite back next week. What in the world is going on with
Peter? Peter,
is
he going to the Rock show?
Y'all should know I'm not going to the Rock show. Okay.
That would be like me trying to go to a Doja Cat show.
Don't worry, Cyber. Christmas is coming real soon for you.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. And to top it all off, hold on. Let me tell a little side story here before we get into our top 10s and all this stuff. So, as most of y'all know, DJ even put out a poll on Twitter, on Elon Musk's X, and asked, is it weird that I did not know who Doja Cat was? And of course, most of y'all agreed with me. So here's the thing. My wife, she is a teacher, an elementary school teacher, and she even knew who Doja Cat was. Well, you know what she did? She let it slip to people that she shouldn't have let it slip to, that I didn't know who it was. Yeah, I might be having a very interesting Christmas coming up in a couple weeks. And you know what, DJ? I'm going to tell you this right now. You ain't shit.
I mean, it's Christmas, so I feel you should paint the town red. Get it? I said what I said. Okay? That's what it should be for you. And it's going to happen for you.
If I wake up in the morning and I hear that in my head as soon as I wake up,
well, maybe you should just walk on by them. Oh man, it's gonna be a great Christmas for you
swear.
as well. Nightmare did say there, Bryan Danielson gonna pull up with some vegan PEDs until Wrestle Kingdom and then take an extended vacation. No, the one who needs to take a vacation is Jon Moxley. So hopefully he does that after this Continental Classic is over. Because he's working so hard, he might get workers' comp at this point.
Yeah, no joke. Nightmare also had another comment here. He goes, Mr. Yeti, didn't you see AEW's women's division ad? It's all over wrestling Twitter. Yes, I did.
I'm glad somebody sees it. I'm glad.
I did see it. I just didn't realize who it was. To be honest, okay, I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't really listen to that kind of stuff. That's not really my forte when it comes to music. Now, I will admit, I have been listening to DJ's radio show that he does and been listening to what he throws out there. So I am trying to broaden my music. But I can tell you this, on a normal basis, I don't know what the shit is.
So listen, y'all, I'm being honest with you. When I told him about Doja Cat and he said he didn't know, that's exactly what I said.
What the fuck?
Because how you don't know that? How, Sway? How? It's 2023. We damn near the Jetsons out here. How you don't know about Doja Cat?
We have a message from Bobby here. I always enjoy watching your guys' show. Well, thank you, Bobby. We appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for tuning in with us every week. We do see you. We do notice that you're here every week. So thank you so much for doing that, man.
I don't know, Bobby. You might not like what's coming up next, because coming up next is our best of 2023. And I can guarantee you one of our lists here is going to piss y'all off. So be ready. Buckle up your seats, because
here we go
right now. And you know what? We're not going to start with the little awards. No, we're going to start with the biggest one of them all. Everybody has a top 10. And we're going to do the top 10 male wrestlers first. Now, just to give you a little insight of how this went, both myself and Cyber made these lists. Some people may be on both. Some people may not be on either or. These are coming from all of the three biggest, and actually one other, so four: WWE, AEW, TNA, formerly known as Impact, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. There will be at least 1 to 3 honorable mentions and the top 10. We'll do, of course, honorable mentions first, followed by 10 through 1. So
yes,
we did have a coin flip. Cyber didn't know about it, but we had a coin flip. And Cyber actually won, so he will go first.
Well, shit. Okay.
There you go.
All right. So for my honorable mentions, there's actually 3 people I have on my honorable mentions. They're not really with a major promotion yet. But if you've been watching wrestling Twitter, just the wrestling social media world in general, you have seen these names pop up. The first one, he actually wrestles down here in Texas, Mr. Brian Keith, the bounty hunter. He actually shot over the bow and actually put out a bounty on Mr. Bryan Danielson. And unfortunately, it looks like Danielson is injured, so he won't be able to he may only do selective events just for AEW and maybe New Japan, but it looks like that match may not happen for him. But as of recently, Brian Keith is actually heading to Japan as of right now. So he is actually making waves. I could see him signing with a major promotion going into 2024 or a little after the start of the new year. So that's my first honorable mention. The second one is going to be Khan. Most people know, if you've been watching ROH, if you've been watching a little bit of AEW, Khan, he has held the 6-man title recently. He is now in Japan as well. He is wrestling in Japan and he's doing very well for himself. So I could see him permanently signing with AEW this coming up year. I know he's kind of been doing kind of a per appearance kind of thing with them, with the ROH 6-man titles. So we could see him getting signed and being more full-time with them. And then finally, Mysterious Q. He actually showed up on AEW Dark earlier this year. And he unfortunately he tore his ACL about 2 months ago, and he's on the mend right now. So he should be seeing a return date probably early to mid 2024 to action, and I could see him getting signed, but it'll probably be more toward mid to late 2024 just due to the fact of him being out to injury. Now, those are my 3 honorable mentions. Now, am I just going to run the top 10? My top 10? Okay. All right. So, going with number 10 on my top 10, y'all are going to probably be shocked. Y'all are probably going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe you ranked this person so low. You know what? It is what it is. My number 10, Logan Paul.
Okay.
Logan Paul is my number 10 for my top 10 list. I would have ranked him higher if he would have had more matches this year under his belt. He had a few, and the match he had in Saudi to win the US title was actually really good. I mean, he even saved Rey Mysterio from potentially being severely injured in that match as well. Since then, he has carried that title with him everywhere. Social media wise, he has shown it everywhere. On set while he's doing Impulsive, he's been taking pictures with it. You've seen pictures of him pulling old school HBK with it, going to UFC fights with it. Well, now that TKO owns WWE, that's a normal thing.
Yeah.
Now, number 9 for me is going to be, let me pull it up here. Give me 1 second. I have to scroll, of course. Number 9, again, this is probably going to be another one that's a little bit shocking to y'all. To be honest, I'm surprised this person even made my list. Hangman Adam Page. I'm sure AEW fans are probably going to be like, you're really going to disrespect him like that? No, to be honest, his title reign when he held the AEW championship was not that great. It wasn't something super memorable, but the point is I feel like they pulled the trigger with him a little too late for him to win the title. I feel like they strung it along too long. And I think that's why it left a sour taste in everybody's mouth when it came to him finally winning the title. Bryan Danielson had to carry him during their feud. It almost seemed like they didn't know what to do with Hangman after he won it. So that's why he's my number 9. So let's see. Number 8 is another AEW person. I know it's going to be surprised because realistically, I'm trying to remember the last time this person wrestled prior to the London show. I'm trying to remember the last time this person wrestled, but Hook. When he won the FTW title off of Jack Perry on that pay-per-view. It was All In last year, right? This past year, right? Okay.
It was just this past year in Wembley.
Just this past year, yes. So when he won the title off of him, I actually was a little impressed just due to the simple fact it seemed like he has broadened his move set a lot since the last time I legitimately saw him. And I just feel like that just from that improvement, him winning the title, I feel like that he earned this spot here. So I was real impressed and I was very happy overall with how he performed. Let's see. Okay, Bobby, Lexus King and Trick Williams and Nathan Frazier and Tyler Bate are on my list. Yes, I will say Trick Williams has improved recently in the past couple months. he has improved on NXT, and it's even to the point where it looks like they might even be putting him into a feud with Carmelo Hayes, which makes sense in the grand scheme of things. So
definitely like those 4 from Bobby as well.
yeah.
But I do see probably Trick Williams and Lexis King probably being pushed the most going into 2024.
Oh yeah, because we could be looking at a call up for Carmelo Hayes. We could be looking at a call up for him. Braun Breaker could be leaving. Also, those are the two main event guys that from NXT that could be looking at a call up as soon as Rumble.
Yeah,
to leaving. So do you want? Okay, so I'm trying to think. What number was I at? Holy crap!
I believe you're going to number 6 now.
6. Okay, all right. So number 6. We are looking at. Let's see. Let me pull it up. Okay, now y'all are really gonna be mad at me because you're gonna be like, seriously, this guy's this close to the top 5. Y'all may hate me for it, but I got to go with Dominic Mysterio.
What in the chicken dinner?
I got to go with Dominic Mysterio. Listen.
No.
Listen,
Listen,
Linda.
We need to have a word. What? 6? 6?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you got me talking like Soulja Boy saying Drake. Like, what? Okay, I need to hear your opinion on this. Like, why is this man at number 6?
This is the reason why this man's at number 6. There's a difference between getting cheap heat and actually legitimately getting heat. Okay? The heat that Dominic Mysterio is generating from the crowd is not cheap. If it was cheap, it would have been gone since just after WrestleMania. Are we in agreement? Is that?
Yes, he did have a lot of heat. WrestleMania,
But
the
here's
whole
the
entrance,
thing.
everything. Yes,
It is still carrying over.
but can you say he's doing it himself, or is it because of a certain mommy with him?
I honestly think if they were to take him away from Rhea Ripley, like we know that's coming because we know that Rhea and Buddy Matthews are in the process of eventually starting to try to have kids. So this is eventually going to happen. I can tell you this much. I think the heat is going to continue to carry over. And here's the thing. I have a feeling he's going to hold on to that NXT North American title until Rhea Ripley leaves. Because what's going to happen is Judgment Day is either going to split or else they're going to turn on Dominic. And then what's going to happen is I think they're going to send him down to NXT and I think they're going to develop him more as an individual there.
Now, I do know that, NXT, they want to start making like as their own brand of sorts going into 2024. Yes. But don't you think that's kind of like a demotion for him? And I mean, it's sad that we're saying demotion and Dominic in the same sentence because originally he was supposed to start in NXT. But because of his famous last name, that didn't happen.
You know what? I also want to kind of step in on that too. I feel like he's being categorized kind of like the way Charlotte Flair was when she very first started in NXT and everybody thought that she was getting everything handed to her. And especially after she first debuted on the main roster, I feel like that he's kind of in that gray area that she was too. And that's why I think I don't 100% think that it was because of his famous last name. I think him originally getting into Judgment Day, I think that is why he got in. But the reason why he stayed and this whole Rhea Ripley thing grew as big as it was, I think that's the reason why he stayed with Judgment Day. Because if he would have gone with them and then fell flat, they would have gang jumped him and kicked him out and he would have gone down to NXT and he probably would have gotten lost.
I mean, I can say this with the heat that he has drawn. I mean, the only heat that I know is from Miami, and I don't like heat. But
screw Miami.
Right, exactly. You know how I feel about them.
Yeah.
PJ Brown, if you know, you know.
Yeah,
But
you know.
I, he has grown into the shoes of holding his own weight in Judgment Day. I will give him that credit. Would I have him at number 6? No bueno. No bueno. But
No,
hey, that's what we said. There's gonna be some list that's gonna affect some people. So
well, because once you see my top 5, you're gonna realize why I had him at number 6.
okay, so
Because
let's get,
all the top 5 is gonna make sense. Okay.
okay, so
So
let's get into it because
all
the
right, we're
Houston
gonna get
Astros
into
not even
it.
top
We're gonna
5.
get into it right now. Okay, we're
Okay.
gonna get into it right now. Okay, so number 5 is from AEW. Oh, and this is going to take some marks off so bad. Eddie Kingston, number 5.
Wow. Wow.
I know one particular mark that's going to be upset with that.
Wow.
One mark that's going to be upset with that. Now, listen, originally I didn't even have him on my top 10 list. What changed my mind is his process of how he winded up winning the New Japan Strong title and the ROH World title. His whole arc he went through to win both titles. That's what made me ultimately put him on my top 10 list and put him in the top 5. Because in all honesty, if that wouldn't have happened to him, he would have probably been 7.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm telling you. But
okay.
I enjoyed the ride of him getting both titles and then, having some really good matches. I mean, to be honest, this was kind of what I was looking for when he first signed with AEW. This is what I was looking for. I was looking for these matches, not these bullshit matches that they put him in at the beginning. What the hell was that?
I can understand it. I mean, you know how I feel about Eddie Kingston's Yonkers all day. But no, it's
Hey,
actually
me
good. He
putting a
had
New Yorker at that. Come on.
I'm so sick of these people. Oh!
I'm telling you.
just when I feel like we're just gonna be together at the bar and just
Come together.
right now, and then it just floats away. There we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Just had to do it.
Okay, so number 4 is actually my last AEW. Well, no, second to last AEW star to be on my list. And I have to go with, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, well, Chris Jericho should be in there, and this person should be in there, and this person should be in there. No. My number 4 is a recent AEW signing, Will Ospreay. He's at number 4. You what?
I freaking knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
Yep.
I know how this Astro thinks. I knew that was going to be at 4.
Dude, because you know what? A lot of the signs were pointing that he was going to sign with WWE because from what I understand, they offered him a bag. And I'm not talking about a small little Prada bag. I'm talking about like a big ass grocery bag along with like 4 others. That's how bad Hunter wanted this guy.
Yes, he did.
So for him to sign with AEW, he has actually had some pretty good matches since he like originally arrived when he was still technically under New Japan contract, and he came and he had these matches this past year. I was very impressed. And due to the fact that Tony Khan was able to snake one from WWE, that was huge. So I definitely enjoyed the process of him getting to AEW, for him ultimately signing. And I mean, we all knew that was coming at the last pay-per-view. We all knew it was coming. It was either going to be Will Ospreay or it was going to be someone completely from opposite field. I mean, some people were talking that it might have been Mercedes that was going to sign or somebody else, but it being Will Ospreay, I mean, I was impressed. I was very impressed. So, going number 3. Number 3. Oh boy, here we go. We're jumping to WWE now.
okay, so he gave a hint there.
We're jumping to WWE. All right. Before I say my number 3,
Here comes a
DJ,
here it comes.
who do you think it's going to be?
Okay, if I know you right, I have a feeling you're going to do a swerve, no pun intended.
Uh-huh.
I have a feeling number 3 is not what people would think is going to be number 3.
Okay.
But if I know you, it might be a certain empire of sorts.
Actually, no.
Wow.
Seth Rollins.
Wow. Okay.
Seth Rollins at number 3.
Okay.
Now, the reason why I give him the 3rd place spot is because I feel like he's getting to the point to where he really needs to take some time off. Because if his body is legitimately hurting him as much as he claimed, to the point to where they're actually putting it into storylines, for example, the whole storyline he did with Shinsuke Nakamura this past year, talking about how bad his back is hurt. My whole thing is, dude, you just had a kid. The last thing you want to do is injure yourself to the point to where you can't even pick your kid up.
Yeah. And we have seen the video of him and Becky out at Disney Magic
And
Kingdom.
who's carrying the kid?
The man, no pun intended.
No pun intended, but yes, it was Becky that was carrying.
Right.
So you have got to think, okay, if he's hurt this bad to the point to where he can't even hold his kid, you need to drop the title now. You need to go away and you need to fix your shit.
No, I totally understand it. He does. He's another person on that list. He might be doing workers' comp if he's not too careful in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, I could definitely see that one.
Let's see. Yes, Will Ospreay. Yes, because part of his contract is that he is able to go and work other promotions that will be okay with him signed to AEW. So TNA is one of those that is okay with it. All right. My number 2.
Peter being Peter.
Peter being Peter.
Peter being Peter. All right. So let's see. You got 2 and 1 left. And there's certain names I did not hear from you yet. So this makes it very intriguing.
I kind of did it on purpose because here's the thing. You can do this with your list if you want to, but I'm going to do this with my list. The number 2 spot is a tie.
Okay.
Okay. The first one is going to be from AEW. Oh my God. People are going to hate me for this.
Okay.
First one's MJF.
Okay.
Now, the person he's tied with is going to tick people off. And they're from WWE.
Oh man.
What's your guess?
I'm just hoping it's not who I think it is. Because
Who?
if it is, it's going to be a problem.
Who?
Like I said, it's a certain empire. It's a certain empire.
Actually, no.
Wow. If he did. Okay.
Who?
Oh man.
Who?
I'm just hoping it's not the guy that just loves saying the word plumber.
Plumber?
Yeah.
Plumber?
Yeah, he likes saying the word plumber a lot in his promos. He does. Come on with it.
LA Knight.
What?
LA Knight.
No.
What the fuck?
Stop it! Don't shoot that little motherfucker no more!
Here's the thing. I am basing my list off the people who are active. Active. So that should give you a huge hint about my number one. Active.
Yeah, I have a feeling of who your number one is. But yes, okay. All right. So at least you're giving the reasoning behind it. You're saying because yours is basically of active participants in all the big four.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even like saying the number four lately because of you know who. But yeah. Yeah, I'm still pissed off about that. But
Yeah.
okay, so tied with MJF and LA Knight.
Yeah.
Yes, he did have a big year. Definitely became a big star merchandise wise. We
Yes.
talked about that a couple of episodes ago. One of the top 10 merchandise holders of the year 2023 with WWE. So I can understand that. And MJF, I mean, we both will say this with our picks for this guy, but MJF, you might as well say, was AEW this year. You can make that argument. He was AEW this year. So that yeah, I can see where you can make it a top LA Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so brace yourselves.
My number one is going to be what throws you off.
Peter says, "Do you have something against even numbers?"
Yeah, forget even numbers. I don't need that shit.
All right, so who's your number one? Because I'm not even gonna say it.
Who do you think my number one is?
I'm not saying it. I'm just gonna let you do it. Go ahead. Just go ahead. I'm gonna let you do it.
Who's my number one?
Just go.
Chat. Since there's a couple of y'all in here, chat. Who do y'all think is my number one person in my list?
Oh man, I will be honest with you. I have two people in mind. Two. I legit have two people in mind, but let us know who you think real quickly. Next 30 seconds, who it should be, and let's see what it is. But while you're doing that, remember to hit up ultsubs.com. Hit up for that and get their 10% off using the code Revival Army. Get the best ice shakers in the world right now. ultsubs.com. Use that promo code, which is Revival Army. Get yourself that 64-ounce ice shaker. Bobby says the Roman Empire, Roman Reigns.
I will flat out say it right now. Hell no, it's not.
Okay. Give you about 5 more seconds here.
All right. So my number one pick, he actually has had 94 matches this year. And if you've been paying attention to wrestling social media, you should automatically know just from that number who my number one person is.
I knew it.
It is Cody Rhodes.
I knew it.
Cody Rhodes is my number one person. And the reason why is exactly what I told you. He is Seth Rollins, and I can't believe I'm putting this name amongst these two, Dominic Mysterio. All three are in the 90s of how many matches they've had this year.
That's a crazy stat.
That is a crazy stat. And those are 2 out of 3 of those. You expect them there. But that one, Dominic Mysterio, he's wanting to. This is the way I see it with him. I think he wants to learn by doing. He doesn't want to learn by practicing in the back or being in the performance center and doing it individually one-on-one. If he's going to do something wrong, he'd much rather do it in public so he knows not to do it next time. So I'm impressed that he is among those people. It's kind of sad that the Universal Champion isn't like that. But I'm not going to do that. He's chasing a record right now. Look at how many times the title was defended by that current record holder, and look how many times Roman Reigns has defended that title.
Wow.
You know what? The WWE is flat out protecting Roman Reigns right now. They are protecting him. Okay. You were trying to stick with the song, but then you totally went off.
He did the Peter remix to it. That's all I'm gonna say.
That is one interesting remix.
I mean, the bar was still there technically, but yeah, Peter, I
Yeah.
understand what you're saying. Okay, so
All right. So
that is wow, a list top 10 male wrestlers according to Cyb3rYeti. Number one, he has the guy that just says, "Oh," being Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare. Now, I did see back here just a few minutes ago, somebody did say something here, and I think it was Peter. For DJ, I'm thinking Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega or Swerve. Well, you don't have to wait much longer because
let's go.
it's time. For now, my top 10 for best male wrestler. Now,
Oh.
just really killed it there, but okay.
Hey, dude. Hey, it's not my fault that your face can't fit in there.
No, I can't. It can. You can do it again. Go ahead. Here you go. You can do this.
Let me do it again.
You can do it.
You want to try again?
Yeah, we'll try.
Good?
That it's just gonna work. It's just gonna work.
It's just gonna work.
It's just gonna work.
Okay.
All right. So we had a top 10 there, and that was really good. It did hit all the different spots there, as you could think. But for me, it's a little bit different. Just a little bit different. Not too crazy, but it is a little bit different. Now, I'm going to start with my honorable mentions. Okay. And I'm sorry, I might have to break the rule. Well, no, you know what? It's 3. I'll give you. No, 2.
Dude, if you want to throw another one in there, go ahead, man.
I'll do the 2. Now, my first honorable mention, and we're just going to start it off with some kicks. It's LA Knight.
What?
Honorable mention is LA Knight. Yes. I took it there. Yeah. Okay. That's what I did. I literally took it to him, and I just feel with LA Knight, it wasn't really about the wrestling. It was about the hype. That's what I saw when it came to LA Knight. Don't get me wrong. Sold a lot of merchandise, had everybody saying, yeah, like a certain rattlesnake did years ago. But when it came to the wrestling, to me personally, the wrestling just wasn't there as other people I have on my list. Now, my list actually might surprise people because it might be a little bit more filtered than, say, Cyber's or what people may think DJ would go with here. But that is my first honorable mention. Now, as far as my second honorable mention, I'm just going to say the name right now. My second honorable mention is Christian. That's right. The AEW TNT champion. It is Christian. Now,
Christian, with his work, are you telling me that he did not even make your top 10?
Well, he ain't make yours either. So 2 tiers in the bucket.
I figured you would have at least put him at 10 for yours.
See, as I told you guys, it's going to be shocking who I have in the top 10. So that's my 2. I'm not even good. Matter of fact, okay, I'll give you just the 2. Now, number 10, it's funny that you said that, Cyber, earlier, that you had one as a tie, because I have one as a tie. And the first one that's on that list as being that guy to be a tie of some sort would be this guy. Dominic Mysterio at number 10. And someone, picture not needed, but he does not miss Carmelo Hayes.
Okay.
So, yes, first NXT wrestler so far on anybody's list here, but those two kind of even themselves out. Both of them actually did work in NXT for some time this year. Dominic, of course, had the North American title run. Carmelo did capture the NXT championship here in 2023. Now, Carmelo definitely is the next person that should be up to the main roster. And just like Cyber said, they might actually be trading places. One going to the main roster and one going down to NXT, that being Dominic. But That's who I have at number 10. Now, at number 9, let's see here. I'm going to look it up. Let's see. Who could that be? Yes, at number 9, New York's own Eddie Kingston.
Wow, I had him higher than you. What?
Yes, I told you there was no bias here. I left all the bias out the window. Whoever you thought was going to be high just might surprise you. Now, already with this, just the honorable mentions and the 2 picks already has you like, what the hell is going on here? So just work with me here. Just work with me.
And he was over here throwing shots at me for my top 10, and he's already screwing up with his honorable mentions.
I'm not even screwing up. I just told you that there's no bias given here, okay? What you expect from DJ is not what you think tonight. Of course, Eddie Kingston, Cyber said it earlier, New Japan Strong title. He also now got the Ring of Honor World title. Grand Slam, the big moment for him in New York. What else can you say? And he's one of the best people on the mic in all of wrestling. It just seemed to all come together for him like a perfect storm, no pun intended. And he's now on the list there at number 9. Now, at number 8, somebody did mention this guy a little earlier. They did. It was very nice. It was very cute. I don't have him as high as maybe the lovely Cyber3Yeti does, but he is there. If I can just find him right now. Let's see. Can't even find him, but you know what? I'll just say it. Number 8 is the most recent addition to AEW. Finally signing on the dotted line. So it's no secret who I'm talking about here. It's Will Ospreay. What else can you say about Will Ospreay? Any type of top 10 match that you have this year probably has Will Ospreay somewhere in it.
Yep.
Somewhere in it. And he was a big get for not WWE, but AEW. First time you actually think where WWE had the shot at it, but the underdog AEW got him there and kept him signed. So, okay, I don't know what's going on down there, but Timeless Tony Cheeks. Peter, calm down. Calm down, Peter.
Hey, we're getting to the women here after this, okay?
Yeah, so yes, Carmelo Hayes, I had to put on the list there because he's just been one of the best out there this year, period. Now, at number 7, this is where it's going to get a little tricky.
Oh, boy.
This is where it's going to be a little fun, okay? So, at number 7, because no photo needed, okay? All I have to do is this. Mr. 9 points right now in the Continental Classic. At number 7, I have Swerve Strickland. That's right. Swerve. Hit that pop smoke right there. That's right. Swerve Strickland. If you're from Brooklyn, then you know what I'm saying. But Swerve Strickland at number 7, of course, coming off of that epic match with Hangman Adam Page. Feels like just yesterday, but a few weeks ago. He has been on a rise. If this is the stock market, go buy some stock in Swerve Strickland right now because he just keeps going up as the year goes on. And 2024 probably will be the breakout star for AEW. And he's going to be Jon Moxley, y'all. I'm just letting y'all know that right now. But Swerve Strickland at number 7. So I got 6 left. This is crazy, Cyber.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you could brace yourself for this ride because at number 6, another person that Cyber did not talk about here. I was rather shocked that you didn't do this, sir. So at number 6, here's a guy just had a world championship match at a recent pay-per-view. His club of sorts has done some pretty good damage in this company I'm talking about. So now I'm not talking Juice Robinson. I'm not talking the Gun Club. But I am talking about the Switchblade himself, Mr. Jay White. Jay White at number 6. See, I told you, I got surprises for you guys.
Okay, let me just ask you something. I'm going to stop you right here for a sec.
Okay.
How long has Jay White been with AEW officially? Like, when did he sign? He signed earlier this year, right?
Yeah, he signed early this year.
They clowned him so bad after he signed. Clowned him badly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, if I was coming from New Japan, coming off the high that I was on there, and went into that shit show that he went into before he finally started getting decent storyline, I would have been pissed. Like 3 kinds of pissed. A multi-time New Japan world champion and
Mm-hmm.
having to go into that. So that's the reason why he wasn't on my list this year, is because he got the short end of the damn stick, and he didn't get some decent matches until this new version of Bullet Club started up.
And let's be honest here, even if you're not a fan of Bullet Club, they have been one of the better groups in
Yes.
AEW and pretty much in all of wrestling because they have it all covered. You got
Yes.
your big leader in Jay White. You have the henchman, does the dirty work in Juice Robinson. You have your tag team in the Gun Club. So, I mean, what else you need? I mean, guns up.
Yep.
That's basically what it
Exactly.
is. Okay.
Now,
So,
if they continue it going into 2024, easily Bullet Club Gold will be, when it comes to trios or comes to groups, they'll definitely be in the top 3 if they have a good year this coming up year.
they
But
definitely will. I could see maybe 3 of the 4 of the group actually holding gold sometime in 2024, whether it be
yes.
tag team gold, trios gold, maybe even world heavyweight title. See how things go. But now I'm into my top 5.
Okay.
All right. Now the top 5 might be a little bit more surprise. Not even too much of a surprise, but just where they may be. At number 5, this guy right here, he always says in this promo, son of a plumber. At number 5, Cody Rhodes. Okay. Now, before you Codyites jump all in my mentions, breathe easy. Okay. Great worker, but it's starting to get a little stale in my eyes, DJ Notorious. So that's why I have him at number 5. Not the greatest, not the worst, but just gives you that even kill throughout the year. I mean, some matches, Damian Priest on the pay-per-view, and some other questionable matches in my eyes. That's why I have Cody Rhodes at number 5. So don't get mad at me, Codyites. He's number 5. Okay, just number 5. So that means I have 4 left. I'm gonna hurt some feelings.
Man, are you gonna make me have to go and grab my blood pressure medicine because you over here starting to screw with me?
I'm really gonna screw with some people here because at number 4, this man, I love his drip because this man spares no expense to when it comes to the shades, the wrestling attire, and even a sneakerhead like me can appreciate what he had on in Brooklyn this year. I'm talking about Mr. Mischief himself, Seth freaking Rollins. Can't say nothing more about it. It's just Seth freaking Rollins. World heavyweight champion, battling everybody. He's there every week, hint, hint. And he still puts on good storylines. Him and Shinsuke Nakamura, one of the best feuds I consider top 10 of all year, no matter what the company is. And just, I'm a fan of Seth. Seth did his thing this year, and that's why he's at number 4. Now at number 3. Number 3. Roman Reigns. Yes. Number 3. What can I say? Roman Empire. He doesn't fight a lot, but when he does, a lot of people watch. Good, bad, or indifferent. That's something I will never take away from him and the bloodline. So he's at number 3. What I would hope for in 2024, there's more matches with Roman Reigns going into 2024. Will it happen? Probably not. Why would they listen to little old DJ? But that's what I have at number 3. Now, at number 2. Number two. Who do you think could be number 2, Cyber?
Hmm.
Looking at the comments here, Ric Flair. Yeah.
No. God, no.
Cody, you have to finish your story, but it's never ending.
Oh, Peter.
That was your
That's
best one
funny.
tonight, Peter. That was your best one tonight.
MJF.
Okay, what does everybody else think there? Okay, Bobby says Bryan Danielson. Okay. And Peter and everybody else listening, watching, who do you think my number 2 is? Trust me, you will be surprised. Give you 5, 4,
Jey Uso.
3, nope, 2, 1. I'm not down with the yeet. But
You got to be down with the yeet, man.
no, and that's why the WWE is not, because they got that trademark hit by that rapper Yeet. So yeah.
It wasn't a rapper. It was an indie wrestler in New Hampshire.
Well, you wouldn't know anyway because you don't even know who Doja Cat is. So stop it. But
No, the reason why I know is because the Wrestling Observer flat out released it.
no, I know. I just found another way to get you a music joke, so I had to use it. Really? Okay. But number 2, honestly, I said this to Cyber before, a couple of weeks going back, and it still reigns true. If you want to call him the MVP of AEW, you damn sure can. It's MJF.
Yep.
Is that number 2? That's easy. This man literally carried the entire company on his back for 2023. His entire storyline going with Adam Cole, the friendship, and now with the Devil Saga. If you turned on AEW and did not know anything about it, you damn sure know who MJF was every single week. And you knew that theme song when you heard it, and you probably bought some Burberry in between the time. So MJF, now is he going to hold on to that title after World's End? I will personally be there to see that happen. Maybe with some hardware in between.
I will say this. MJF deserves every little bit of kudos that he'll get for 2023, just due to the simple fact he went in as the most hated champion to start. I mean, he had like above Dominic Mysterio heat. And then after him and Adam Cole had their little feud and then it turned into a friendship and everything else, he went from the biggest asshole to, what do they call him? The people's scumbag. He went to the people's scumbag.
He's my scumbag.
My scumbag. He is my scumbag because I am on the MJF train right now. And I can tell you this. There is one thing I will say. In 2024, Tony Khan, you better open up that bag and you better pay him well. Because if not, Cody Rhodes and Hunter are going to pay him the right amount and y'all might lose him. So you better pay him.
But who's to say that they haven't paid him already? We just don't know.
Well, for Tony Khan's sake, I hope he did, because I can tell you this, he will literally lose his biggest star in the men's roster right now.
So you have MJF, you have Roman Reigns, you have Seth Rollins, you have Cody Rhodes, all 5 through 2 respectively. Who in the hell is my number 1 wrestler for 2023?
It's going to shock everybody, and it's going to be,
it's going to shock the world. It's so shocking, there's no photo available. That's how shocking it is. That's how shocking it is, ladies and gentlemen. So give me the big mic here. Give me the big screen. Give it to me.
Okay.
Give it to me.
I'm going to give it to you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, my number 1 male wrestler for 2023 here with the Wrestling Revival podcast is the greatest intercontinental champion of all time. It is Gunther. Simple and plain. This man took down Honky Tonk's record, which a lot of people thought would never happen in wrestling history. And you want to talk the word consistent? He's been consistent all of 2023. Carried the Royal Rumble match. Y'all remember that back in January. And literally he's had that belt and made it the Gunther Intercontinental title. Still has not lost it to this day of the show. And honestly, in 2024 will probably be one of my first people to become a WWE champion, whether it be for Roman's belt or Seth's belt. You can't say anything wrong about Gunther. He checks all the boxes the entire year. So when I say there's a new empire in town, I am talking Imperium. So my number one is Gunther.
Bobby, I do agree. That is actually a really good pick. You know, I hate that I totally spaced on him. He is a damn good Intercontinental champion, and to be honest, I could actually see him being one of those rare ones where he actually holds both the Intercontinental title and World Heavyweight title at the same time. Exactly like how Seth Rollins did the WWE Championship and the US Championship.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could easily see him doing it, but the only difference is Gunther would actually defend both.
Yes.
He wouldn't only defend one. He'll defend both, and he will beat the living crap out of everybody.
This is what I mean by top 10 that had pretty much everything you could think in it. Hard workers, great mic work, surprising years, title runs, long title reigns. And if we're going to talk long title reigns, yes, MJF has had that belt for over a year, but Gunther is on a whole nother level, albeit with the secondary title of WWE. So definitely got to give it to Gunther. So according to me and Cyber actually went completely different than me with number one, because I went with Gunther and Cyber. Tell me who you went with at number one.
I went with at number one, the man that had the most matches in the WWE this year. I went with Cody Rhodes, number one.
Now, would you like to see a storyline like that? Cody versus Gunther, maybe taking that Intercontinental title belt off of him?
I could see a match like that happen in 2024. But I have a feeling that Cody would much rather wait and get a shot at a world title before going and fighting for a title he's already held. That's just my opinion on it. But if he does decide to do it, good for him. I mean, he's already held the tag team title with Jey Uso since returning. And we all remember how that press scrub went after they won that title. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso both came out. They were a little tipsy, but
a little.
A little.
I think it was beyond the legal limit there.
Oof, man, oh man. All right, so we are going to go ahead and jump into the top 10 women's. We're going to do this one at a little bit of a faster pace because we still got trios and top promotion also.
Yes.
So we're going to go a little bit faster pace. I think maybe we should go ahead and just fire off. Like I say my number 10, you say your number 10, and then we just go back and forth.
Perfect.
It makes it easier. All right.
I know people have been waiting for it down there in that chat, waiting to see who's our top 10 female wrestlers.
Yes. Okay. So starting off with my number 10, let me find it. Let's see. A lot of people are going to be surprised with my number 10 pick, just due to the simple fact of, man, I don't want to say an obvious thing that you'll automatically know who I'm talking about.
So then push the button.
Wait, you want me to you want me to what?
Push the button.
Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button.
There you go.
I will push the button. I will push the button. Okay, at number 10, I have Anna Jay. At number 10.
Okay.
She has improved, but she hasn't been really given that opportunity to really come out and present herself like fully, like the way that we know probably she's going to show up and higher up in our list, but Julia Hart, she hasn't had that opportunity pop up yet.
Okay.
like she did. So that's why she's so low on my list. But Anna Jay's moving in the right direction. I think she's going to wind up getting more opportunities in 2024, and it's going to lead to something bigger for her. It's
Okay.
just right now we're starting to see the development, kind of like we did with Julia Hart last year. After her whole leaving her former group, joining the House of Black, transitioning into kind of like this manager, and then transitioning into being a wrestler after some of them took a break, and then ultimately winning the TNT, not the TNT. Damn it, the freaking TBS title. And I'm impressed with her. So that's my number 10 right now.
Okay, my number 10 is simple and going to shock people. Number 10, Britt Baker.
What?
Remember, Britt Baker did not have any sense of a big title run. This 2023, she kind of basically took a fall back of sorts and let, some of the new voices to be heard in and out of the ring there. So that's why I have her at number 10. Don't get it twisted. She still runs that division, if you know. Because still out of this time, she's still one of the more popular ones, even outside of professional wrestling. So.
Okay, so my number 9. My number 9 is going to surprise some people just due to the simple fact I like this person a lot. And when they were gone, I was like, when they come back, they're going to get an opportunity. And sure enough, they did. But I figured it would be a little bit more. Had a couple more feuds than what she had. Chris Statlander is my number 9. I feel like she should have had a couple more feuds with the TBS title before losing it to Julia Hart. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. We have to wait and see what's going to happen with her in 2024. I mean, either she needs to get put back in the mix for the TBS title, or else she needs to get into a rivalry. I'm going to flat out say it: get into a rivalry with Britt Baker.
Wow,
And put on some matches and put her name back into that potential spot of being a top women's star. So that's my number 9.
Okay, my number 9, and yeah, it's simple. It's Trinity. Yeah, I have her at number 9. Glad that she made her return back to wrestling. There was a little break in between there, so some of 2023. But when she made her return, it was impactful, pun intended. So she made her run there, has the women's championship, and is going to be doing big things for her going into 2024. So it's easily her, hands down, number 9.
Okay. My number 8. My number 8 is actually from the WWE. And hold on, where is it? I literally okay, there it is. It's someone who's kind of not been on TV too much in NXT lately. So, but the work that she did put in this year has been pretty good. I'm going with Cora Jade.
I knew it.
But if you've seen her recent social media posts, if you've seen pictures of her within the last couple of months, she's preparing herself for something because she has put on some weight in a good way. She actually looks like she's in shape. I think being in a relationship with Braun Breaker has probably helped a little bit too.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo. But I honestly think she's preparing for something, and I think we're going to see a returning Cora Jade at the Rumble representing NXT.
That would probably be the next thing I would say. That would probably be it. My number 8. Now, some people may know that I like, certain things. I like my Giants. I like my Knicks. I like my Yankees. I even like the Jordan 13 Flints. Now, all those things there, Cyber, have something in common.
Mm-hmm.
And if it ain't blue, it ain't true. Going with Sky Blue.
I think he's only going for her because of the cakes.
Let's not get it twisted here. She got some cakes, and I ain't talking about Little Debbie either. But she got some nice
for
cakes.
The cakes.
Okay, the cakes are nice, but
hang on, wait a minute. He going for the cakes.
Yes. No, she definitely got some cakes that, make even Little Debbie jealous. But all in all, if you want to talk about somebody that might be most improved, Sky Blue should be on your list at number 1 or number 2. Hands down. She really has come on here where you really thought of her as just the one that took the losses mostly in the women's division, just say like a year or 2 ago. Now she's kind of like one of the one, if not the 2 matches that they have for women on Dynamite. She's in it. And she's doing well and has a following. Just got kind of sort of a new type of look to her at the pay-per-view, new theme music. So she's kind of going through a change. But the wrestling has been great. And it doesn't hurt about the cakes, okay? But she could be a breakout star in 2024 easily. Yep. And trust me, at World's End, I want to see her end. If you know, you know. See, I told you, I got jokes for days, man. Jokes for days. But yes, Pablo.
So my number 7 for the list, it was kind of hard for me to decide for number 7 because I feel like both of these people, Bobby,
it is a possibility.
It is a possibility, but I still think it's going to come down to where will she get the bigger pop and where does she feel comfortable at debuting, especially if Shawn Michaels is really like behind her reemergence. If he is behind it, he's not gonna do it deadline. He's going to do it at the Royal Rumble because we know there's a very high chance that an NXT star will not win the Royal Rumble this year. We know that for a fact. So instead, have someone in there that you know can go for a while and represent the brand because, like DJ said earlier, they're trying to make NXT its own third brand to Raw and SmackDown. The way to do that is show off the talent that people will see as the third brand. And one of the biggest people that they can do that with is Cora Jade. Not only that, Roxana Perez is another one that can be done that way. Even though there's talks about her possibly jumping to either Raw or SmackDown after the Rumble, I still think if they needed to, they could keep Roxana and Cora Jade on NXT, and that could be your women's division feud, your very first one as a third brand, because that could easily carry weight. Okay. So anyway, for number 7, I had a hard time deciding between these two because it was either they were going to get number 7 or else they weren't going to get on the list at all. So at the end of the day, DJ, I'm sorry, I had to go opposite of you. You picked the TNA women's champion. I'm going with Jordynne Grace for number 7. Okay. Big thing for me is 1, look at the titles she's won this year. I mean, obviously the Knockouts title was won.
Right.
She's won the digital media title where she's even defended it against men and has held her own in a match against men as well. So I have to give her credit on that. And also, even though it's getting to the point to where it's kind of a little over the top of how much she's in shape now, just the transformation she underwent just this year of transitioning to what she is now, that's a huge accomplishment just on its own as well. So that's why she gets my number 7 pick. And I hope they do something else with her. You know what? I honestly feel like the treatment they gave Tessa Blanchard a couple of years back, it failed miserably because she winded up winning the men's title. and then defended it once, and then it was stripped from her because she was acting like a child.
Yeah, and still
So
acting like a child.
I honestly think that should have been done with Jordan Grace, because Jordan Grace has been nothing but loyal to TNA. And if they were going to let a woman have that opportunity, it should have been Jordan Grace. And if they're thinking about doing that again, she is the perfect person to do it with. So that's my number 7.
That I could definitely agree with that. For my number 7, I actually just thought about this right now. I had to make a quick swerve. And that one actually, and it's going to shock some people, I'll give you a hint. It was the number 1 movie of 2023. It was former NXT Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton.
Wow.
Yes. I see big things for her, and when her, I could say, kind of short reign as NXT champion, I think she's ready for another prime move. I wouldn't even be surprised if she's one of the call-ups for WWE. And the reason why I say that is because she has the look. She definitely has skills in the ring if she's basically got the rub from Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
And she fits merchandise for WWE like a glove.
Mm-hmm.
So she checks all the boxes. Just think of a look of Charlotte or the wrestling of Charlotte, but the look of a Trish Stratus. That is exactly Tiffany Stratton.
Yes.
And
I
TKO
agree
not
with
being
that.
involved, they see nothing but money with that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I got her there at that spot.
Okay. All right. Well, number 6 for me, I am going to go. This is just outside of my top 10, out of my top 5. So this was kind of a hard decision. Well, not really a hard decision, but it was either they were going to be number 6 or else they were going to flip flop with my number 4. So the next one on my list, Asuka.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Asuka. Here's the reason why. He did have a title run this year. It was okay.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like the greatest title run that she's had, but I honestly feel like creative didn't have anything else for her after she lost the title. And I feel like she was forced into Damage Control.
Yes, she was, because they had nothing for her.
They had nothing for her. It was either that or else she wasn't going to get any TV time at all. And I feel like that is an awful shame, especially for someone who has so much experience, who has held multiple titles, has had the longest women's NXT title reign, and never lost that title.
That's right.
And creative is starting to hit a brick wall with her. They don't know what to do with her anymore. I just find that a little ridiculous. I know they're probably looking at the angle of ultimately drumming Bailey out of Damage Control, just because look at the members that are there now. They're all former NXT champions. They're all former, tagged. They've tagged at some way, shape, or form with each other in the past, and they're legitimately friends outside of the WWE and outside of the wrestling world. So it's only a matter of time before they drum out Bailey, and it's just the remaining group. And Dakota Kai, she might leave with Bailey, or else they might do the same thing to her. I don't know. So that's why I'm kind of like, I hate to put Asuka on the outside looking in, but just the way that they're going with her right now, that's how I see it. So that's my number 6.
Okay, so then my number 6 here is going to be kind of a shock to some people, because they would think of her should be a little bit higher than what I have her at, but guess what? That's why we do these top 10s.
Mm-hmm.
So, this one here at number 6 is a favorite of a lot of people. She did not have the greatest of 2023s, but until something happened, she was definitely in the top 10. So she's not as high as she would be, but number 6, Jamie Hayter.
Okay.
You can't disregard her, so she has to be in the top 10 in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But if she had a full work calendar, she probably would have been in the top 3. She was just that white hot for her time in 2023. So not top 5, but just right there. And number 6, Jamie Hayter. What else can you say? When she returns, she's going to have gold back on her quickly.
It'll be quick. Yeah, I think so. At least a TBS title or something. It may not be a championship run right away unless something happens to Toni Storm. Knocking on wood. It would have to be at least a TBS title run. If not immediately, within the first 2-3 months. And I hate to say that because Julia Hart deserves to hold the title for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
But realistically, if they can recapture any part of how white hot Jamie Hayter was when she was there,
mm-hmm.
you have to do it. You have to pull the trigger because that's what's going to put asses in seats.
Literally.
So you have to go with what's going to do that. So no, I agree that if she would have had more time, I think, that was a good pick. So, all right. So here we go. Top 5 for me. So number 5. Let me find it. Where? Jesus. Where is it? Okay, number 5. I actually don't have a picture for number 5.
Okay.
Number 5. What? Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby,
I'm so not with you on that one.
Nope.
That's what you call a reach.
Nope. Number
That
5
is a
for me.
reach out and touch someone. That's a reach.
Number 5 for me is going to be Becky Lynch.
Wow.
And the only reason why she's on the bottom of the top 5 is because after she lost the NXT title to Stratton, I believe that's who she lost it to.
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany Stratton. After she lost it, it just kind of seems like she's been a little flat. I don't want to say that she's been boring.
Why did you just say flat like that? Damn.
Well, in more ways than one.
Damn.
More ways than one. I'm sorry. The lack of cake for everyone out there, I guess.
Man, why are you?
But anyway, I would really like to see more out of her for 2024. I think there will be. I would really like to see her continue working with the young talent coming out of NXT, especially if Tiffany Stratton is on her way out to the main roster. I would like to see her on Raw to go up against Becky Lynch again and actually have it turn into a feud, because these younger talents that are coming out of NXT, if they have to start building these younger women to step into where the Becky Lynches, the Baileys, the Charlotte Flairs have someone to fall back on. Because here's the thing. How long have they already been wrestling on the main roster alone? It's been years. I mean, the mid 2000s. The mid 2000s is when they very first started kind of trickling in onto the main roster. So we're going to start seeing these people wanting to take time off. Becky Lynch, I've seen on social media, she wants to try and having a kid. And, no telling, Charlotte Flair may want that, or Bailey, she might be dating somebody, I don't know, and she might want to have a kid. These women are getting to the point to where they want to be able to take some time off, but they can't if they don't have anybody in the wings waiting for the opportunity.
Exactly.
So that's my number 5.
All right. So for me, number 5, I'm going to give a shocker right now. Brace yourself. Number 5, boom, Bianca Belair.
Really?
She has been just like the number in my eyes. the middle of the pack, mid, whatever you want to call it. That's how I've seen Bianca Belair this year. That's a person, like you said with Oscar earlier, that they just don't seem to know what to do with. That is the epitome of Bianca Belair this year to me. And I don't see 2024. It looks like mostly cloudy skies when it comes to Bianca, because you either got to have her in a world title picture immediately or not at all and just get repackaged. One or the other. This mid thing is just not working. Even the whole hair thing is just not working for me anymore. She needs something.
I mean,
maybe the heel turn can do the trick.
Heel turn with the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. I mean,
easy, done. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Where do we sign?
Or two, WWE really needs to come out with a women's mid title, because you can't really call either of the world championships a mid title because both of them kind of have the same level of prestige. So, I mean, you need to come up with a mid card title. Hell, bring the European title back, repackage it or something. Do something to make another title so that these women have something to fight for, because the tag team titles are a joke.
Yes.
You're not going to pair anybody. Well, to be honest, even if you were to pair people, they probably wouldn't get along long enough to freaking hold them long enough.
I mean,
but anyway,
it's just
mid-card title. They need a mid-card title. That's what it comes down to.
So you mean to tell me, Cyber, that WWE needs to follow what AEW already has?
Okay, let's say this.
Wow.
People have been barking for this in WWE since before AEW even became a thing. Am I right?
Yes, you are right. But look at the one who has that mid women's title.
Yeah, I mean,
to an extent, even TNA has that mid women's title. You just said she won.
The digital media title. Yeah, technically that's I can classify for both. Okay,
right.
Yeah,
so definitely WWE TKO Group needs to take from the other two companies in town and make that, because then people like Bianca Belair or people that we mentioned earlier can easily either come up and take that belt. So that's something they need. But yeah, Bianca Belair mid 5.
All right. So my number 4. Some people might be a little surprised. They're from AEW. This is going to be a surprise for some and maybe not. I don't know. We'll just see what kind of shock value we get out of it. My number 4. Who do you think my number 4 is, DJ?
Listen, I know you so well. I know exactly who your number 4 is. And if I'm wrong with this, we're going to have a meeting outside of a meeting. Have the post-game meeting like, the old general couldn't do. But anyway.
Here we go.
So, number 4. The house always wins.
Damn it. How do you know me so well? Miss Julia Hart is number 4. Julia Hart's number 4. I'm sorry. Ever since she joined the House of Black, at first, like I was saying earlier, it felt like it was more of a manager role that she took. But as she kind of bought into the mystique, as she was able to develop her character, and also it kind of helped that a couple of people got injured in the House of Black.
Mm-hmm.
She had no choice. She was kind of pushed into a situation of, okay, you need to start competing and we need to put you in some matches. Put her in some matches. She even started doing house rule matches during her time, which I thought was great. Mm-hmm. Yes, Julia, I will admit, Julia Hart, I have become a fan of her since she started wrestling. I didn't think they were going to pull the trigger with her with the TBS title so quickly, but it looks like it's working for her. So again, big props to her. I'm glad. This is one of the few things that I'm actually happy that Tony Khan did. I hate that it was at the expense of Chris Statlander, because she really needs something to push her. But Julia Hart, she's catching fire right now.
No.
If she continues to let it grow organically, I think we could be looking at someone that could be in the same category as Jamie Hayter.
Mm-hmm.
We could be looking at someone like, this is probably me overshooting a little bit, Miss Toni Storm. We could be looking at someone like that if it's done properly. But if they try to force it and not let it happen organically, it's going to fall flat.
No.
So my number 4 is Julia Hart.
Okay, so number 4 is Julia Hart. My number 4, listen, piss a lot of people off, but it's just factual because there's another one that was just mid-ish in my eyes this year. Charlotte Flair.
Oh.
Yeah, I said it.
Oh.
I stand on business. That's what I said. She, once again, another person, yes, big name, multitude of championship runs. But this year, if we're going to talk about a top 10 list, she has been mid too. Her and Becky need the same jail cell of mid. That's what they've been this year. So maybe in 2024, some new storylines. Maybe with somebody that's in the performance center now jumps up and gives her first big feud of 2024. Who knows? But my number 4, we're sticking with the mids. And that mid was Charlotte Flair in my eyes.
Okay, so I'm on 3.
3.
3. Okay, I'm trying to find it. I think I've got a picture. Dude, me and you weren't that far off on our 4 and 3 because you actually picked the person I had listed there. I was gonna go with Charlotte Flair as well at number 3.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, her title reigns and the work she's done in the past, I hate to say it, is what's kept her in the top 5 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Everything she's done, but since she's come back this last go around, she hasn't done anything for me. She hasn't. And it is ridiculous. Charlotte Flair should be either helping people in NXT get ready to come up to the main roster by giving them matches like on Raw, like they kind of have these highlight matches every once in a while where someone from NXT will come up and they'll wrestle on an episode of Raw.
Right.
Charlotte Flair should be doing something like that for the women on NXT. Have a Tiffany Stratton come up, have a Cora Jade come up, have Roxana Perez come up, see how she would work on the main roster.
Right.
There are so many women down in NXT that she could have matches with and pretty much put them over. I'm not saying lose. I'm saying put them over to the point to where they're able to say, okay, this person has potential. This person still needs to stay in NXT and continue working on this. This person needs to be here now. You know, that's the kind of thing Charlotte should be doing. But instead, she's not. So that's my number 3.
That's your number 3. Okay, with Charlotte. So my number 3. How can we put this here? The number 3. Let me go down here. And we're uploading. Let's see. My number 3. Ooh. Also, AEW.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a hint there. No, she's not with, Jack Perry. So automatically take somebody out. And no, she actually has more cakes than Becky Lynch. Even though that's not saying a lot. But at number 3, who I literally call the golden child of the year, Julia Hart. I have her at number 3.
So literally our 3s, our 4s and 3s literally flip flop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Julia, I mean, it's everything that Cyber said. Plus, once again, you see a competitor in 1 year go from an afterthought on a Rampage episode to now leading, if you remember correctly, sometime this year, leading Collision on Saturday nights.
Yep.
There was quite a few weeks in a row she was there with Brody, and look what happened. You can see it every week, just getting better and better and better with competition that she had there, and the whole storyline fit. She is now TBS champion, and sky's the limit for her. We look like Abaddon might be her next opponent if you did watch last week's AEW programming, but Julia Hart is literally, can you say right now, she is carrying the flag for the House of Black. Who would have thought that at this time of the year we would be making that statement?
I wouldn't find myself saying that at the beginning of this year, saying that Julia Hart would be the one carrying the House of Black. But I think what's going on right now is Tony Khan is waiting for some of these storylines to wrap up with the AEW title, with the TBS title, with, a couple of their top titles in order to start placing the House of Black in those situations. Malachi Black in the AEW title situation. Buddy Matthews into the TBS situation, the TNT title situation. And then hell, even throwing part of House of Black into the trio situation, which, to be honest, they could be doing that now. Because what is the Acclaim doing? But anyway,
absolutely nothing.
Not going to touch that yet.
You know how I feel about that.
Yes. So that's a good pick. Like I said, our picks literally switched. Our rankings switched. Okay, so my number 2.
I have a feeling who it is. I have a feeling.
Okay, so who do you think it is?
I mean, just going by this list right here, and once again, knowing the Astro, it's quite simple. What rhymes with Timex?
You think I put Toni Storm at number 2? Really?
Yes. Looking at your list and knowing what's left, I'm strongly saying your number 2 is Miss Toni Storm.
Wow, and Bobby's picking Rhea Ripley. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so my number 2 is where the heck did it go? Actually, Bobby's right. I put Rhea Ripley at number 2.
Wow.
You see?
Wow.
Literally put Rhea Ripley at number 2, even though that hurts me to do, because I've been a Rhea Ripley fan since she popped up in the Mae Young Classic. I've been a fan of her since she popped up there, and seeing her transition from what she was there to what she is now, I could tell you this: if she keeps on going on this trend that she's going on, you could see her at the same level as Charlotte Flair.
I could see that.
I could see her being outside of the 4 horsewomen, her putting together a Hall of Fame career of her own. I'm just being honest. This woman has turned around and not only come in with no gimmick whatsoever in the Mae Young Classic, was so quick and eager and willing to learn from the people that were in the Performance Center. I believe Deebs was even still there when she started. So that was definitely somebody that is literally a learning tree when it comes to wrestling. So, I mean, that was a huge deal. But seeing her go from no gimmick whatsoever to transitioning into becoming the NXT UK champion, becoming NXT champion, turning into to her gimmick that she is now. And the biggest turn I saw from her was during COVID, when her and Charlotte Flair had their first match together for the NXT title. Yes, she lost, but she got the rub exactly like how Jey Uso did when she went against Roman Reigns for the first time. So just seeing the growth, just seeing what she's doing now at Judgment Day, everybody thought Finn Balor was going to be the new leader after Edge got drummed out. And that is not the case at all. It's like it was in limbo for months, and then finally you started seeing Rhea Ripley being like the puppet master among all of them. Started with Dominic Mysterio, then started with Damian Priest, and then went to JD McDonough, and then Finn Balor. So, I mean, she is literally controlling 4 people in a group to the point to where everybody, every single wrestling fan that watches the WWE programming sees that Rhea Ripley is the actual leader of that group. So that's my number 2.
So at number 2, quite shocking. You want to push the button?
Do I want to push the button?
Do you want to push the button?
Do I want to push the button? Do I want to
Yes.
push a button? Do I want to push a button?
Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button.
Okay, fine. I will push the button. I will. Let me get back up to it.
The number 2.
Number 2.
Rhea Ripley. There's not many times here, ladies and gentlemen, on this podcast that we agree. But number 2, and I mean, it was very close. I debated this for quite a few days going back and forth. But it just, every time I did it, it just came up with Rhea Ripley. Everything that Cyber said is correct. But I personally feel she is starting to grow stale. And as someone said earlier, the title that she currently holds is now becoming secondary, like Damian Priest's briefcase. That's not good. That's actually bad. That means, do you necessarily need that title anymore? We shall see in the coming months. Royal Rumble's coming up, which means the road to WrestleMania will start and things like that. Don't get me wrong. She's very popular. A lot of stuff she's popular with a man who she's not engaged to. If you know, you know. But the ring work is there. It's just starting to get a little cold when it comes to her. So that's why I put Rhea Ripley at number 2. And yeah, number 1 will be number 1.
Number 1 obviously will be number 1. All right. So obviously looking at the list, you know, we both kind of have a feeling who our number 1 is going to be. Okay. We obviously know, we have an idea of who our number 1 is going to be.
Yes.
I am actually trying to do something extremely last minute here because I feel like it is appropriate for this person to actually have some form of a picture. So please bear with me.
I mean, it's as easy as saying AEW. It's as easy as saying TCM. It's what I say, dare say.
We are looking at timeless Toni Storm for the number 1 spot for me. And I think I have a feeling that this is the second time that a Yankee and an Astro are actually going to agree.
Well, then you know what? Let's just hold the suspense here. This is both hosts of the Wrestling Revival podcast, number 1 female wrestler of the year. It is damn right, timeless Toni Storm.
Yes.
No doubt about it.
Wow. For both of us to agree that Toni Storm has completely come out of left field with this organic character that she has developed. We can both say it, and I think we can both agree prior to this character coming out,
She was teetering on top 10.
she was on a downward slope with AEW. She was about to find herself in catering.
She was about to be off the list. Before
Yes.
this, I can honestly say she was probably between 8, 9, and 10.
Yes. So for Toni Storm to start developing this character and it growing organically to the point to where it has turned into what it is today, I am completely shocked with how well it is developed. I look forward to seeing how it's going to work in 2024 because we know how quickly the wrestling world can lose interest in something.
Yes.
So will the wrestling world do that with Toni Storm and this new gimmick? Or will she continue to grow the gimmick naturally like she has been so far this year? So that's my number one.
I mean, for Toni, out of left field, right field, San Diego, New York, wherever you want to put it to. I just gave you a hint of something there, Cyber. But if you picked up on it, you picked up on it. But
Yeah, exactly.
okay. I can't say nothing more. If you guys have been a fan of this season here of the Wrestling Revival podcast, you will know me. My favorite segments of Dynamite have been Timeless Toni Storm. To see something that was basically birthed and grow like a rose from concrete to what it is right now. Yeah, I put in a Tupac reference in there. Catch up. I ain't say paint the town
I
red.
know about that reference, but I'm talking about the other reference too.
Oh, the San Diego and New York?
No, the rose that grew from concrete.
Yes, that's Tupac. Like,
and what else? Would be General.
I didn't even realize it because he's a non-motherfucking factor. But just saying. But timeless. Yeah. Timeless Toni Storm, man. This has been one of the good things in all of wrestling. I don't care if you like WWE, AEW, TNA, formerly known as Impact. It's just been good. And has you at the edge of your seat, as we said earlier in the show, having the lead from Turner Classic Movies drop the hype video for her appearance in the ring. Chef's fucking kiss. It was just that good. Listen, this is good. This is like the Rolls Royce now of the women's division. Let her cook. Just stand back. Let her cook. It's going to work. I can see this going all the way through Double or Nothing of 2024. That's how long I can see this reign going for Toni Storm. I literally can. And with certain things they got there, they could sprinkle some people in. She might have a big run next year. So I love it. Keep it going. Adding little stuff here or there. Shout outs to Luther. Okay? Because Luther is playing the shit out of that damn role. Being her butler, the Jeffrey for Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, whatever you want to call it. It's great. There's nothing wrong with this. Keep it going, Tony Khan, because you're going to get a lot of money with this. I would love to see her at an autograph signing, maybe at World's End. I would love it.
That would be freaking amazing.
Yes. And just like Bobby just said down here, of course, you could comment during the show here with this premium service called YouTube. I'm interested in a match between Timeless Toni Storm versus Ryu. I think that's the next match we're going to see. Don't necessarily know if it's going to be on Dynamite in the next couple of weeks, but this screams to me at World's End.
Yes.
Screams to me at World's End, which would be a good match with the two varying styles. I would love to see that match, but I think still Toni Storm will get the victory.
Oh yeah, no, they're not going to take
that.
They're not going to take the title off of her right now. Not anytime soon, especially not before the end of the year.
Right. I would love to see how the New York crowd reacts to her at World's End. I would love to see that. Because I know the big markets are really going to let you know if something is working. So I would love to see what they do with that there. And, New York, A lot of movies and shows are filmed here. I would love to see what they have for her entrance at World's End.
Oh, dude.
There's going to be something.
Oh.
There's going to be something. If Tony hasn't thought about it yet.
Oh, no, she's probably already has.
Right. So there's got to be something because, you know, New York has something called Broadway. I'll just leave it at that.
Yep.
Just leave it at that. But yes, we got it right. We agreed.
Mm-hmm.
One.
Our top two for women, we were both right on it.
Rhea Ripley and Timeless Toni Storm. So
that is right. All right. So now we are going to jump over to groups and tag teams.
And I think for this one, we just need to give who our pick would be.
Like our top pick?
Yeah, our top pick. Who would that be?
Okay, yeah, let's just go ahead and hit top picks in.
Or, you know, tag team. Now, when we say group, that can be a trio. And best group, it could be also a tag team. So we just put them together, put some nice turkey in between the sandwich there, and that's what you get.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, because I did not realize how long we've been already going at it, man.
Yes. Hey, it's a season finale. We got to give the fans.
Yeah, season finale. We got to do it up big a little bit. All right. So for me, I will have to say for top group, you can't deny this even if you wanted to. I feel like, and that's even over. Y'all are not going to believe I'm going to actually say this. Even overshadowing the bloodline in my eyes.
Better watch your mentions now. You know how the bloodline fans are, those Roman fans.
Roman Reigns could go jump off a cliff for as far as I'm concerned, man. Screw that, man. I hate what he's doing right now. But anyway, my top group, House of Black. And you know why the House of Black is my number one pick? It's not because of Black or of Matthews or anything. It's because of what Julia Hart has done on her own when she was left by herself with Brody King. What she did on her own, not too many people would be able to carry that kind of responsibility and be able to keep the group afloat. That is what was big for me in making the decision for top group. The Acclaim are nowhere on my list. I'm sorry, but no. After they won the trios titles, I really thought that they were going to do something with them, but no, they really haven't. So forget it. So my group is House of Black, but my tag team is a different one. I'm going to just throw it out there so we can get it out of the way. My tag team, my number 2 was the Usos, just of what they did prior to separating. My number 1, I have to. It's FTR. FTR is my number 1 when it comes to tag teams. What they did this past year prior to getting injured and prior to, you know, the problems that they had where they haven't really been on TV, especially with kind of being mixed up because they were friends with CM Punk, you know, kind of getting mixed up in all that. If they didn't have those problems, it would have been a lot better for them. But that's my group and tag team.
Okay, so I'm going to start with my best tag team. There's a lot of choices out there. Could easily went Uso before the breakup, but I'm sorry. I would say best tag team, and I take that word seriously. It's FTR.
Look at this guy. 3 times in a row.
That's just crazy. But you know what? I'm going to see your 3 and add one more. Best group, hands down, House of Black.
What?
There's no denying it. There's imitators. You could have easily went Bullet Club Gold, and I wouldn't have been mad at anybody that did. But if you want to talk about a full team from top to bottom that comes together and forms Voltron, that is the House of Black. And actually, the MVP of that team is Julia fucking Hart this year. It is her.
But I will give them props too. The other thing that kind of swayed me their way also was after Bray Wyatt passed away, the what they did at their pay-per-view after that
in Wembley.
Yeah, at Wembley, they had the lantern, and they set it down in front of them before they walked out to the ring. So that was a huge class act for them. So that was another thing that kind of swayed me as well. So
What did it for me was definitely Julia at number 1. But let's not forget, people, House of Black did hold the trios title in 2023.
it was a dumb mistake that they let the Acclaim win it off of them.
They should be still having a reign right now. Still having a reign.
But
Maybe
also
actually switching it later on. But
I mean, also too, you got to realize wasn't Black hurt?
yes,
And that I think that may have contributed to the reason of why they dropped the titles to the Acclaim. But also once he was better, they should have gotten them back, because right now, what are they doing? They haven't sold that many of those Acclaim custom belts because they're freaking outrageous.
that's an outrageous price for those, by the way.
No. So I honestly, it was a bad choice. Tony Khan needs to figure out what the heck to do with that.
Maybe giving those belts back and having that group just run rampant with the belts.
I mean, yeah, with that, and then turn around, let him get into a feud with Bullet Club Gold. Dude, that I would be like, take my money.
I would be signing up for that. Take it now. Have
Take
it in
my
New
money.
York. I'll be biased. I'll take it.
All right. So now we're on to the main thing. We are on to the meats and potatoes of the situation now. We gotten the huge stuff out of the way. We've gotten the top female, top male wrestler of the year, Bobby. Don't get me wrong, I like the Street Profits, but what have they done this past year that really screams, yes, they need to be in my top group. They need to be my number one. They haven't really done anything.
I like the move of Bobby Lashley, but even that has slowed down. So that's why automatically I took them out of my nominations when putting all this together.
Okay. So we are looking at the top promotion of the year.
Yes.
Top promotion of the year. Now, pretty much, we're going to be ultimately looking at the big four. I know MLW's out there. I know TNA's out there. I know all of this is there. We're going to be looking at. I'm sorry?
Noah as well.
WWE, AEW, New Japan. No, I did include TNA. I'm sorry. I did include TNA as number 4.
Yes.
So those are the top, like, big ones for me. So, DJ, I've been going first most of the night, so let's go ahead and go to you first. What is your top company right now?
You know, when you pick something like this, you're going to piss off a fan base.
Doesn't matter which way you go.
Doesn't matter. But to me, 2 tiers in the bucket, fuck it. I don't care. I'll go in this order from 4 through 1, and 1, of course, being my pick. Number 4 would be New Japan. New Japan has been losing more people than adding people, if you've been paying attention this year. So automatically I put them at 4. Number 3 would be now known as TNA. Had some good things happen, but still not in a lot of markets where they can be seen on regular cable networks. Hurts them a lot, still to this day. So when are they going to pull the trigger on that? I don't know. But
I already know what you're going to
do. One company has new management. The other one, a lot of people just love to hate for some reason, especially on social media. But I wouldn't be DJ Notorious if I didn't tell you the truth. Number 1 with a bullet. Top promotion. AEW. And here's the reason why I say AEW is number 1. Because the other company had a very bad stench on it for 2023. And you know why.
Yeah.
That's my reasoning I've put them at number 2 because I left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And that wasn't something of wrestling related. That was criminal related. And you can't put that ahead of somebody that was pretty clean throughout the year. And the reason also I put AEW there, AEW did have one of the biggest, if not the biggest, paid tickets in a wrestling event this year. I don't want to hear the bullshit. I don't come in my mentions talking other nonsense. All Wembley Stadium was Wembley Stadium. AEW got the W over them this year. So that's why I put them at number 1. It is All Elite Wrestling.
Okay, so I'm going to say this right now. For my list, from 4 to 2, well, actually, 4 and 3 were the exact same.
Okay.
3 were the exact same. New Japan, they haven't signed anybody new. They haven't been able to retain their big talent. Okada is the next one that's on the chopping block that is going to leave because he is being wined and dined by the WWE right now, and I'm sure Tony Khan's in active contact with him as well to see if they can't get him to the States. And I know Okada, he flat out has said in the past, going to the States is his main focus moving forward, because that is literally the last half of his career is to be in the States. So New Japan, number 4, number 3, TNA. The main person I'm kind of worried about that might potentially leave TNA to go to one of the big companies. He's been an original for TNA for quite some time. Josh Alexander. Josh Alexander, he should be getting ready to have his contract come up either the beginning of this coming up year or mid this year, this coming up year. His contract should be coming up. And I could tell you this, if it's mid this year, I wouldn't be surprised if WWE doesn't try to sign him in time for SummerSlam.
Indeed.
So that's my number 4 and number 3. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you because this is me being critical of both these next 2 companies, because Tony Khan dealt with a shit show. He didn't deal with it right the first time. I'm shitting on him for that. Instead of letting this person come back, he should have just let him stay gone. And I'm shitting on WWE because they shouldn't have brought him in again. But I could tell you this, the main reason they're probably doing it is because they want to get AJ Lee in the Royal Rumble and money. I get, like we both said, we're going to give that six months to a year before that happens. I have no company that's number 1. I have no company that's number 1 because you know why? Both have royally shit the bed. Both have royally shit the bed. Tony Khan has shown that he is soft by the way that he dealt with CM Punk the first time. I was in fear of my life. No, it's called your little bitch.
If I could be frank for a moment.
Okay. I'm being critical of both, so I don't know what leg you could be standing on.
And I'm critical of both of them too. I said that, I'm not saying AEW is perfect because they're not.
Oh, I know.
But at least they ain't in criminal stuff. At least you don't have pop culture looking at you sideways in a culture right now where one particular entertainer can't even go to the bathroom without getting another case put on him. Wasn't that WWE for most of 2023?
Hey, I'm not saying that they haven't done anything wrong either, but
so that's what I'm saying. So like, one is borderline criminal. The other is just making what I would call infant company mistakes. And what I mean by that statement is you have a company that's not even 10 years old. We know the other company beats them by decades. We know that because it's been a family business for all these decades. Finally going up to TKO. But AEW's things can be fixed. I don't know about WWE and theirs thing getting fixed. And now when it comes to Tony Khan, the first time, okay. But I think we both know Tony Khan is not somebody that's like Brock Lesnar or Bobby Lashley. He doesn't scream muscle bound, I can just break you into a twig. He's not a part of that lifestyle. He runs teams. He doesn't have people yelling and screaming at him, threatening to fight. Even though if that person took a swing, he probably would break his kneecap. But that's just me. It's just me. Don't go on the turn rope. Okay, no, top rope. Watch yourself. See that? Real glass. Get that? Real glass. But I think with Tony, the second time, it's just he had enough. He knew he had to stand on something, and he finally did it. Because it's either you're going to be a punk in your own company that you basically are the end-all be-all, or you're going to make a stand. Now, it may not have been as quick as, say, me and Cyber would have wanted it, but he did make that change because not even 90 days later, look where he showed up at. Now, should he dealt with it sooner? Yes.
Yes.
I will agree with that. But did he take care of it? Yes.
But like I said, it's still not going to really change what I think. Neither company to me was 100% in the right this year in regards to what's happened in their company. One, Vince thought he was going to pull a fast one and get his buddies to buy own controlling interest in WWE and thought he was going to be able to step back into creative. No. Once he realized that wasn't going to happen, that's when we saw that he sold off almost $8.5 million worth of his stock back to TKO because he's quickly realizing I'm still involved in WWE, but they're not going to let me do what I thought they were going to let me do. No, because at the end of the day, friendships don't mean shit when it comes to making money. So TKO said, no, we're going to put Paul Levesque where he needs to be. And you can have a seat here. And that's about it. So yes, that happened. But that can't cover up the fact of what was going on with Vince in regards to all these allegations, all this criminal stuff that was going on in the back and all that. You can't deny it. Can't deny it. It's guilty to the point to where he thought him selling the company was going to be a slick one and he was going to be able to continue the shit that he was doing before. TKO ain't like that, and Dana White wouldn't let that happen either with TKO either. So WWE's in the wrong. Tony Khan, like you said, it didn't happen as fast as we were hoping. But to me, though, the way that he acts like a fan like 90% of the time. I understand the company's young. He's trying to get his bearings in regards to how to run a wrestling promotion. The thing is, you do not see other promoters when God, what company is it that bought TNA, bought Impact? Their logo was an owl. What the hell is the name of their company?
That can't be Anthem, is it? I might have the companies mixed up. Anthem, or is that NWA?
Maybe I don't quite remember, but you didn't see the representatives from that company going and hugging on every single wrestler to the point to where they looked like they were uncomfortable.
Okay. And I would say this because a lot of people do kind of, and it's kind of, it's a topic I really don't like to talk about, but it's here, so we just got to talk about it. A lot of people make jokes of how Tony Khan acts, saying he's on drugs and he's just making people feel uncomfortable. A little of that actually comes from the other companies that he actually deals with. He has, the football club over there in the UK. He also has the NFL, where they celebrate very much like Tony Khan does. So is it a thing of he just thinks it's the NFL and the Jacksonville Jaguars? Possibly. Could there be something else underlined with it? Maybe so, but if you could read between the lines, you'll know what I'm talking about. And if it is that, I think we need to just leave it alone.
Well, here's the thing. he bought into the culture of like international football and
Yes.
everything else. But here's the thing. You have to read the culture that is there in whatever organizations that you're participating in. American football, wrestling, anything like that. You have to read into it, because if you try to approach it like one culture to another, you're going to get looked at sideways. And that's exactly what's going on with Tony Khan right now. So to be absolutely honest, I have no number one, because I feel like both are pretty close to equal to the dumb shit that they've done this year. And this is the first time since I've done a wrestling podcast that I have not been able to get a definitive number one among companies.
Wow. Okay.
So that says something.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's not going to be all the time
Nope.
that we're going to agree. So that's what it is. Cyber has nobody as the number one. I have it where I guess some people will say this is one of the things, the lesser of the two evils. I have AEW, All Elite Wrestling, at number one, followed by WWE, TNA, formerly known as Impact, and New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yes, sir.
That's that.
Yep, that is our picks. And let's see. So are we forgetting anything else?
No. I think that's it.
All right. Well, guys, that was our season finale of our first season as the Wrestling Revival podcast. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I know this episode was a little bit longer than what we expected, but it was a season finale. We were going over our top groups. We were going over our top 10 male and female wrestlers. We had a lot of fun talking about it. We bullshitted some of the time. And, for the people that hung in there, thank you so much for hanging in with us. Bobby, thank you for hanging out with us, man. We appreciate you as always. Make sure you keep an eye on our social medias. Make sure you look out for when we come back, because I tell you what, we're coming back just in time for the Royal Rumble for season 2. Yes, we are continuing. Hey, a Yankee and an Astro can walk into a bar a lot together. So I have a feeling that's going to be going on for a little while.
I mean,
for quite a while.
We can, walk the Riverwalk together. We can go by American Airlines Arena together. Hell, you might even catch me at Minute Maid Park.
What?
But you know where we won't be going to? Not State Street in Boston. We don't do that.
No, we
don't do that. We don't do that. It's for a whole nother reason. We don't do that. But season 2 is here. Some people thought it was dead. No, it's not. We're not dead. We're just going to take a little holiday vacation. We want you guys to enjoy the holidays as well. Not worrying about staying up to after 12 midnight watching a podcast when you should be enjoying it with your family and friends. But season 2, we have some things in store for you. And one major announcement is going to go down before season 2 drops. And it's something that a lot of people have been asking for. And we're saying yes to it. So let that be something you think about.
Let it sink in.
We will announce that. You know what? Let's announce that on January 1st.
Perfect.
New year, new update. So trust me, you're going to want to stick around and do it. Make sure you're following us on social media. It's very important, because it's very important to a contest coming up in 2024 as well. See, I dropped you a hint. I didn't have to. But on IG, the Wrestling Revival podcast, of course, all spelled out. And then on X, I think Elon Musk is still calling it X around 12:39 a.m. night time. So it's TWRP_official. Make sure you follow, because you're going to need to in 2024. Guaranteed. Okay? We heard the cries. We know what you want. We got you for season 2. So make sure you follow. We will be checking, and simply enjoy your holiday, guys. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy the wrestling as well.
And Bobby, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. We're glad to have you along with us, man. So thank you so much for all your comments. Also, guys, one more time, let's go ahead and also thank our sponsor here. Let's thank Ulti Energy. Make sure you use the discount code Revival Army for 10% off at ultisubs.com.
Yes.
Pick yourself up a nice looking shaker like this. You see this, I use this thing all the time, man.
And
Love
I'm gonna
it.
tell y'all, I have one as well. Just not gonna picture it right now, but it's also a crime deterrent as well.
A crime deterrent.
Yes. Think about it. Crime deterrent.
Swing it. Swing
Okay?
it.
I swing that at you, it's a felony. Okay?
Yes.
Like that. But yes, ultisubs.com, discount code 10% off, Revival Army. It's greatly appreciated. Everyone that's tuned in from episode 1, where we told you, are you paying attention, to this season finale now, Night of Champions, greatly appreciate it. You can follow us on all social media, Cyb3rYeti and DJ Notorious 2K7, because, man, we really do appreciate it. I know a lot of podcasts say they do, and they're just giving you fluff. But us, we do greatly appreciate it.
Between the fluff, the tubby, the fake jewelry, the pyramid schemes.
Oh,
I'm saying too much. I might hurt people's feelings. I apologize.
like they hurt car seats.
Man, car seats, car suspensions, everything. They're sitting sideways and not in a good way.
Oh man, not Paul Wall.
I'm done. I'm done. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it. You have yourself a good holiday. We will see you in time for the Royal Rumble for season 2.
No shiesty caps over here.
No shiesty caps. I am Cyb3rYeti. That is DJ Notorious. We will see y'all in 2024 for season 2.